up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here, honey, to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Now, I know I haven't been down here for Real Housewives of New Jersey for like 3 or 4 weeks, but we're just going to start talking about, what was this, episode 14, Rat in the Street. So, they had gone to Ireland, did all those things in Ireland. Great, fantastic. So I just want to start off from this episode, and we could just talk about what's going on the damn TV. We start off at Margaret's house with Jennifer Fessler coming over with her aunt and her mom, who are twin sisters, Mazzy and Marilyn and Carolyn. So they call them Mazzy and Kazzy. They come over. She shares with us that they were friends with Barbara Streisand growing up. And they're little personalities. They got the little curly hair going on, acting silly and stuff, probably putting on a little show too for the cameras as well. They just seem like those types of those older women. They know a camera is around, they start performing. So they talk a little bit about Ireland and talking about Danielle, and how Danielle is always like whenever anything happens between Melissa and Teresa, Danielle chimes in and tries to bring the attention to her and whatever situation is going on with her brother. Margaret says she always tries to make it about her. So oh, my brother, stuff like that. They start talking about Melissa and Teresa and, their relationship. For me, just watching this last episode, and when Melissa told Joe that after she drew that picture of them coming from Italy when they were in Ireland, they drew that thing on the wall, how after she was sobbing, but then after she was like, you know what, I'm done with it. I think that it's about time for Melissa to be done with it and stop trying to be the person trying to mend or trying to be, fair, or trying to be whatever it is that Teresa has strung Melissa on these years, trying to make her seem like she's the one. She's always in his ear. You saw in this episode, she told Louis that she's always in his ear, and this is it. And whatever it is that Melissa's doing, I feel like Melissa is at a point, and Joe Gorga are at a point where they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. She's never going to be happy. She says she doesn't have family. Let's just forget about it. And like when Paulie said, they either need to make up or need to break up. And that's where I think everybody is. And I'm glad. I feel like Melissa is there as well now. Like, she doesn't care about trying to mend whatever it is that Teresa and Joe have going on. Teresa and Joe themselves need to be in therapy, just them two, and a family therapist, without their spouses, without anybody. It needs to be them two, because it doesn't matter who their partners are. The problem is Teresa and Joe, and that's it. And that's just it. Dolores and the rest of the family, Frank, Brittany, Paulie, little Frankie, and the daughter, they're going out to celebrate Frankie getting his dream job. They talked about their work ethic and how they have a very good work ethic and they're very hard workers. Paulie shares with us that he came to the United States when he was 23. He started off as a receptionist. Did you hear Brandy was like, did you speak English? Girl, he was like, we speak English. We speak English in Ireland. That was funny. So, do you guys talk about getting engaged, right? The next step, what's going on? They talk about it a little bit, and then Frank asked him, did did Dolores show him what kind of ring she wants? And he says he already has a ring. And he was like, oh, okay. And even everybody, even the son was like, oh, okay. Frank basically says that, I guess his, trepidation about the family, changing the family dynamic, he's not attached to that anymore because he sees that the family is actually getting bigger. The family is not, separating or anything like that. I think it was a good idea for them all to go out to dinner. I feel like that should have happened a long time ago, but I feel like it's good so that, um, so that they can get an understanding that you don't have to break up the family. The family is actually getting bigger, and Frank Catania is not a threat. He doesn't still have the hots for Dolores or anything like that. Um, Little Frankie or Frank Jr., he says that it'd be kind of weird to see, either of his parents get married. Frank says that he would want Frankie to be his best man if he got married. And Dolores and Paulie decide to have like an Irish themed party at Paulie's house, and everybody's invited. Brittany, Frank, they're all invited. So we're going to see how that is going to go. Louis and Teresa are sitting down in their backyard, looking at the seating chart. There's a point where Teresa tells Louis, does he want to have a dance with his mother? So he calls his mother. I thought it was weird that he said, "What's up, you sexy thing?" I was like, what? Did he just say that to his mom? Anyway, whatever. So I guess he asked her, does she want to do a dance? I guess she gets emotional on the phone, so we'll see if that happens. How did the bridal shower go? This is Louis asking Teresa, how did the bridal shower go? And how Melissa was acting. And she's like, Melissa's actions don't match her words or whatever. And even Marge said later in the episode that Melissa was almost just like a guest. She wasn't involved in any kind of way. And it's fair. Like, to me, I feel like they're trying to make something happen that has been defunct, dissolved for years. Like, you're trying to make this family thing work for the sake of your Italian culture. That's the only thing that I can think of to make this thing work, because Italians are known for family and this and that, and you're trying to make this thing work and it's just not working, and you guys need to hang it up. Flat screen. It's a wrap. I invited Joe and Melissa to the rehearsal dinner and brunch. I don't know why they invited them there, because to me, I feel like rehearsal dinner is for the bridal party. It's not for anyone else. And if they're not part of the bridal party, why did you invite them? And then if you look at the text messages, they were invited on that same day, like in that day. I feel like Teresa's playing a game. Like, I'm going to invite them. I know they can't come. But then when they say they can't come, I'm going to say, oh, it's my family. They're just not cooperating. It's just, it's a lot of manipulation going on to make it seem like something is happening that is not happening. I really am glad they're to the point where they're like, we're just breaking up. Like, Teresa and Joe, if they don't get therapy, just hang it up, forget about it. And I feel like Louis is loving that. Like, he was like, I don't want your brother to even come to the wedding. I'm not going to be, you're not going to recognize me if I have something to say to him and all this other stuff. I feel like Louis, he called Teresa naive. He told Teresa that her brother was gaslighting her and manipulating her. And I was like, no, that's what you're doing. But I feel like there's no reconciliation. I feel like they need, like Teresa and Joe, brother and sister, they need to break up. They need to forget about it. Whatever the problem is, we're not getting to the root of it. Teresa feels like she deserves some type of treatment that she's trying to get out of Melissa and Joe. She has had Melissa on this string of, you're the cause of the breakdown of me and my brother's relationship. And then, Louis mentions, it doesn't matter what man would be in your life, he would have a problem with it. I feel like he didn't have a problem with Louis at first. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was that business, that pizza kitchen business that happened, but I feel like it wouldn't matter. I feel like Teresa is that person that it doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to be good enough. And she's always going to figure out a way to blame it and then turn it around where you can hear Louis saying, they blame me for everything. And it is you because you're not satisfied because you don't like Melissa. You've never liked Melissa. And there's never going to be anything good enough. And I feel like the way that Louis said that any man, he would have a problem with any man, I feel like Teresa would have a problem with any woman. I really feel like that. I really feel like that. It's not Melissa. It's not. Um, and I'm glad that Melissa is at the point where she's like, fuck it. I don't care anymore. I don't care. So I'm actually glad she's at that point. Um, she says she can't make it to the rehearsal dinner. She said she just got the invite that day. You could read the text messages. She says, I'm not going, oh, Louis tells her, I'm not going to allow them to blame you anymore. She says, I'm embarrassed that it's my family acting like this, and you have a family that's so loving and this and that. And I'm embarrassed that it's my family that's acting like this. Is it your family or you don't have family? What is it? That's the thing with Teresa. I don't understand. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. He says, after we're married, I'm not going to allow this treatment. I'm done. So Louis is getting what he wants. I don't know. I don't know if Louis is going to become this controlling person with with Teresa in their relationship. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very interested in seeing how her relationship with Louis or marriage with Louis pans out. I'm very interested to see after he's legally bound to her how he's going to start treating her and how he's going to start acting. Danielle and her mom are doing inventory for her bougie kids line or whatever. They talk about the brother and her like they were when they were little, like they fought each other, but if anybody messed with them, they would get on that person. She says they took that kind of dynamic into their adult life, but then after a while, her brother stopped having her back. Um, he iced the mother out for taking sides, and he doesn't want to fix it. So I'm trying to figure out, I feel like there's still something missing, and I feel like it has to come from the brother. Like we need to hear like what happened to the point where you're like, I don't want to have anything to do with my sister and my mom. I don't want to have anything to do with my mom because she took my sister's side. Took your sister's side in what happened, right? That's where I'm trying to figure out. I think that's where a lot of people are like kind of confused. It's like, what caused the breakdown in the relationship? You dancing on Instagram and him making fun of you, and then you blocking him, and then him icing everybody out just doesn't make sense. And if that's what it is, he's off. Like that's crazy if that's what it is. But hopefully she shares with us what it is. And even when her and her mom were talking, it just seemed like it was still off. Like something's missing. Y'all are not saying what happened. Y'all not saying what happened. It's crazy. Um, Jennifer, her brother has moved back from Turkey with his wife. Their visas got approved, or her visa got approved. Jennifer found an apartment for them. She knows the person who owns the building, so she got them a great rate. A 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, something to start them off. She's very happy that she's able to help them. She says that when Bill was in his residency, they weren't making a lot of money, and their in-laws had to help them a lot. She's sitting down with her brother. The apartment looks nice. She's sitting down with her brother and his dress shoes on, with his shorts on, honey, with his dress shoes. I was like, okay, brother. But she's sitting down talking about Bill and how he comes home, he goes directly to the pool house. The brother's like, at least he can come in and speak and then go to the pool house. But I don't know what's going on with Bill and why he does that and why he doesn't see that it's not good for the relationship. And the brother was like, the man's role is very traditional. The man's role is to provide financially, and the mother do everything else. And Jennifer is at this place where she's saying, well, one person doing two people's job. And it's not just two people. I really believe that children deserve a village of people. That's why I love multi-generational like living arrangements, because they get a taste of different generations and get a taste of other people raising them just besides the mother. I'm so thankful I was raised in a multi-generational home. So thankful for that. And I'm thankful that it wasn't just my mom raising me and that my grandparents had a hand in raising me. I'm so thankful for that. But just one person, the mother doing all the work, basically being a married single mother, she says it's not sustainable. And Bill doesn't want to go back to therapy, but he wants her to go to therapy. Now, when she said that, I thought to myself, if she starts going to therapy by herself, she's going to come into a lot of revelations about the dynamics of her relationship. Not that she will leave Bill. I don't think she will, with 5 kids and him being the primary breadwinner. I don't know what else Jennifer has going on. I hope that she is using the platform of the Housewives to create some streams of income for herself. Like I said, not saying that she's going to leave Bill or anything like that, but once you're in therapy and the therapists start asking you questions and you start answering the questions and talking through whatever it is, like a good therapist will sit there and allow you to basically talk through what it is that your revelations and coming into your own awareness of different things that you have dealt with in your life. They'll sit there, ask one question, and kind of get you to start thinking. And that's what will happen with Jennifer. But we'll see. She should go. I believe that she should go to therapy without him, because she will come to some sense of awareness about the dynamics of her relationship and how she wants to navigate that relationship so that it's healthy for her, and that her children, especially the girls, don't see their mom doing everything. Maybe something can happen. I don't know. But him not going, that's going to put a strain on it. But I think that she should go. I think that she should go. Rachel and the adoption. Now, I'm all for the adoption thing, but I'm like trying to figure out, why are they waiting? He's 16. In 2 years, he won't need a parental guardian or whatever. Do they just want it on paper? I don't understand why they haven't done this when he was younger, right? 10 years old. But he's 16. He's 2 years from being 18, duh. But it's like, why now? She said she didn't, it's not the show that's like making her do that. When she was on Watch What Happens Live, she's saying that she's been wanting to do it, but I'm trying to figure out, why didn't they do it? Right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But Jaiden says that he's been wanting to be adopted. So that's, I'm trying to figure out, why did they wait so long to do this, to take these steps? But she tells him, I'll always be your mother if it doesn't go, the way that we want. I think a few weeks ago somebody said the mother has come out and said some things. I don't know. I haven't seen or heard anything, but she says the mother is kind of a wild card. And the producer asked her, what do you think the mother would say? And she was like, I have no idea what she would say. So we'll see. We will see. So they are all getting ready for this party, and everybody's kind of talking about Margaret and Laura. And Laura is still talking about Margaret. Jennifer is still talking to Laura about Margaret, trying to find out things about Margaret and saying that Laura has divulged so much information about Margaret to Jennifer. One thing I think that Jennifer Aiden is going to find herself in she's going to find herself in a position that she doesn't want with Margaret, because Margaret from what I've seen all these years on the Housewives, is not someone that you can easily shame. And I think that whatever is being told to her, Jennifer is a person who is easily shamed. She comes from that culture where if it's not, in this traditional ideology, you should be ashamed of it. Margaret doesn't come from that. So I think the things that Jennifer is gathering about Margaret, trying to see if she can say something to shame her, save it for the reunion or whatever. I don't think Margaret is a woman easily shamed. I think she's the type of woman that I'm going to tell you the truth about the situation. It is what it is. Like it or love it, hate it or judge it, whatever. That's just what it is. And you really can't shame people who stand in their truth. I feel like Jennifer is going to find herself in a funny situation with Margaret. I really feel like that. And I feel like she's really upset with Margaret for exposing Bill, because Jennifer was supposed to hold on to that and allow that to eat away at her for her entire life so that she can grow up and be like her mother and be resentful towards her husband, that she has never actually faced the fact that he did cheat on her and she didn't even get a chance to process it. And now somebody else is bringing it out. So she has been mad at Margaret. She's going to be mad at Margaret, and she's blames Margaret for her daughter wanting to be a love specialist now. Girl, like I said, she's going to find herself in a pinch with Margaret and staying talking to this Laura lady. Well, anyways, there's a rumor about Melissa seen kissing another man. Laura is basically spilling a lot of tea and leaking text messages. Teresa and Louis are in the bedroom, and they're talking. She says that she tried to call her brother several times and he hasn't returned her call. And that's the thing. I think that they're done playing this game with Teresa. I think that Joe and Melissa are done playing the game with Teresa. They're done trying to, make Teresa feel like she has a family, because nothing is going to be good enough for Teresa. And that's just what it is. And I think they're done playing that game. She says her brother hasn't called her back. Louis says it's happening on purpose because we're getting married, and it's bullshit. He says it wasn't, him cussing me out. It was more him saying that you were miserable. Any person that tells you that you're miserable when they actually see you happy wants you to be miserable because they're miserable. He's like, that's the part that got me mad. He doesn't want to see you happy. He says that Joe Gorga is boring. He's devilishly calculated. That's what he said. I was like, Joe, I don't know. Joe Gorga doesn't seem, it's no shade, but he doesn't seem smart enough to be calculated. I don't get that. I think a lot of what Louis says about Joe Gorga is truly him talking about himself. I really believe that. When he was saying that Joe Gorga was manipulating and gaslighting Teresa because she was naive sometimes, I believe that's his MO. I really truly believe that. He says it's been peaceful without him for the last couple of weeks, not talking to him. He says, I don't want to talk to him. I wouldn't talk to him like a rat in the street or something like that. And he says he showed him love and sincerity, just all this weird shit. And it's like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Who fucking cares? Like, let Teresa and Louis, Lobster Louis, Red Snapper Face Louis, let them go be where they want to be. Like, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Melissa and Teresa next week, where Teresa was walking away and Melissa was following her. I can't wait to see what that's all about. But he said they're not taking his shit anymore. And he was like, I don't want that pig energy at the wedding. And I don't even want him coming to the wedding. That's what they want. He wants them to like break off. I want them to just decide, like even Paulie, when they were getting ready for the party, Paulie was like, either they're gonna make up or they're gonna break up, and that's just what it is. So that's where I am with the whole situation. I think it's time, and I'm glad to see Melissa is at the point where she's like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever you're saying, Teresa, about you don't have a family, you have a family, don't, girl, shut up. Don't nobody care. And I'm glad that they're at that point where they're not trying to mend something that is not mendable, right? Is that mendable? Is that a word? But yeah, I think that's where they are, and I'm glad that they're at that point. Anyways, that was the end of the episode. Y'all let me know what you think of the episode. I really truly believe that they need to break up. I do. I believe that Marge and Jennifer is going to get in a bind with Margaret, and this thing, like, she's still talking to Laura. Even Joe Benigno was like, she said that she wasn't talking to her. He was like, nah, she's still talking to her. And she is still talking to her because she wants something on Margaret that she can throw in Margaret's face to make Margaret feel ashamed about something. But you're dealing with a woman who really does not care about stuff like that. What you are ashamed about, she's not ashamed about. So it's not going to work if you're going to try and throw something in her face. She's going to be like, okay. And you're going to be looking stupid. Like she was looking stupid in Turkey when she called her a booger wolf. It was like, girl, what? And nobody thought it was like something like, even Jennifer Fessler was like, she was looking through the dictionary. What can I call Margaret? What can I call Margaret? There it is, booger wolf. And it's just like, I feel like you're an amateur playing with a professional. I really do. But anyways, y'all, take care of each other, protect your energy. Let me know what you think of the episode. Peace.